Hello, today I've got a very eclectic art haul to show you. I wasn't particularly thinking that I would have got some more art materials, but I'll explain what they are and how I came about having them as we go through. I have a table at a monthly craft market. I think I showed in a video a while back. I'd done loads of printing with my lino cuts to make some more cards, but it's quite a tedious process which I don't particularly enjoy. I find it quite hard work doing the printing and pressing the cardboard down hard enough to get a good impression. And then I spotted this product in an Instagram video a little while back, and I was quite intrigued by it, so I looked into it and decided to get one for myself. So this is a Woodzilla press, and I think this is a company based in the Netherlands, but I'll correct that if I'm wrong. I'll put links to it below anyway. And this is the A5 sized one in the teal colour. And it's basically a good sturdy press. So you'd have your lino cut at the bottom and then your paper sitting on top. And then a felt pad on top. I might actually attach this felt to the top wooden plate. And then you've got this plastic coated bar here. When you press the handle down, that creates the pressure. I'm not going to try it out in this video, but I am really excited for the next time I have to do lino prints, because I suspect that this will make life a lot easier. Also, while we're on the subject of lino printing, I bought this Essdee ink tray. It's just a sturdy, inexpensive ink tray. I'm going to try using it instead of my glass plate that I normally do, just to contain the ink a bit more. On Instagram, I'd seen someone using one of these and I hadn't come across them before. And then I also bought a pack of rubber carving blocks. In the past, I've used kind of the hard grey lino for doing my lino cuts with, but I thought I'd like to try this pink material. I've used it in the past before for making rubber stamps. So I made this set of rose stamps where you layer on different colours. And then the same again for the leaves. That's the background colour. And then the little detail stamp over the top. And I really enjoy cutting this material. So I've bought a few so I can experiment and maybe make some more greetings card designs of local scenery. Oh, and I just found a sticker on the floor that must have fallen out the Woodzilla box. And then next up, Rubens got in touch with me and asked if I'd like to try out their 5th generation watercolour paints. This is kind of the top level of watercolours that they produce, so I was quite excited to try those out. They arrived just before I went on holiday last week, so I haven't had a chance to look at them properly yet. And they were also kind enough to send me this package, which I think is watercolour paper. So let's just take a look at these. So this looks like, I thought it was a pad, but it's actually a box. So we've got a stack of loose sheets of watercolour paper here. I don't know very much about this paper. It just says on the pack that it's 19.5 by 27 centimetres. But it feels like cold press watercolour paper. And it's got like a sparkle in the paper. I'll do a separate video reviewing these products, so I'll do a bit more research on these for that. And then I've got a cardboard box here with a watercolour palette in. It's really, feels really lovely quality. Okay, and there's like a microfiber cloth and the metal watercolour palette. And then a watercolour paper swatch card. And this must be the full range of the 5th generation watercolours. So this feels like a fairly standard, nice quality metal tin. A lot of paints come in. This is a 24 set of half pans. So they come individually wrapped. Pigment information, light fast stars on the side. And then on the other side it says colour carrier, Arabic gum, colour, this is the PY3, weather resistance and transparency. That actually feels a little bit shallower than a normal half pan. I'll just get one out so I can compare. This is an A Gallows half pan. I'll put a magnet on the bottom of it. So it's a little bit shallower. Only by about a millimetre or two. But it's fairly similar really. Again, I'll do a fuller review video on this set later, but just looking at it now, I really like the range of colours that are in here. Got the Naples yellow instead of a white, Perylene maroon, which I don't normally see in a 24 watercolour set. Translucent turquoise, cobalt turquoise dark, olive green dark, got Venetian red there. I like the look of that range anyway. Just take a look at the pigments. There's quite a lot of single pigments in this set actually. Yeah, that looks really interesting. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 24 that aren't single pigment ones. So I'm definitely looking forward to swatching those out. Look out for that future video if you're interested. The packaging is certainly beautiful quality anyway. And then because I know I'm going to be doing some more plein air painting and wanting travel art kits, I bought a smaller version of the Seawhites travel journal. This is a little A6 one. I've really enjoyed using the A5 one. You'll have seen that in my videos quite a bit. And because I can't resist travel watercolour sets, I picked up this Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolour field pocket set. I had tried out a different Winsor & Newton travel palette. It's kind of like a chunkier white one. I'll try and find a picture. But I'd found that the water container kept falling out of it and I wasn't enjoying it very much. So I don't have that on anymore. And I saw this at a really good price, so I thought I'd try this one. I don't particularly like the Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours. I've got a few of their professional ones, which I much prefer. So I thought I was buying the blue one, the navy one, but this is all white, which I don't mind at all. It's got the ring on the back. So that's the water container that holds it together. And the travel brush is stored here, which will probably be horrible to use judging by other tiny travel water brushes that I've used. And then this is the water container, which has got a depression in it, so it can be another mixing area. A couple more mixing areas. That looks like a natural sponge, which is good. And then I'll take these Cotman watercolours out and probably just sell them on eBay cheaply. So, okay. So you've got a central area that lifts out. Oh, and then these are just loose. They slide out there. I'm not sure if my half pans will fit in this system exactly, because I've put magnet on the bottoms of them. Yeah, so mine are too tall to slide down that channel, and yeah, too tall to sit under there because I've got quite thick magnet on the bottoms. So what I'll probably do is take out this central bit and just put a sheet of magnet in the bottom, so I can just put my own selection of loose pans in with the magnets to stick them down. I really do like my portable painter micro. I find it works really well, and you've got a good sized water container. I can make do fine with the 6 paints, though it would be nice to have more space for extra paints. But with this, I've still got to carry a water bottle. So by the time I've got some kind of water container as well, I'm getting up closer in size to this. So I like that that's nothing can fall off it or out of it easily, and that's quite a good amount of paint and quite compact. I'll probably do another video just on watercolour travel palettes. I did one probably coming up for a year ago now, so I'll give you my thoughts on them a year on. I then have one book which I honestly can't remember. I'd seen it somewhere and liked the look of it, and it's a pretty battered copy. I managed to pick it up somewhere secondhand, and that's Making Colour Sing by Jeanne Dobie. Got some nice annotation in for me by someone. I actually really don't mind getting scruffy secondhand books because I'm not very precious with my books. Like, you know, my cookery books get all splattered with, and my art books get painty, and so I don't mind that at all. So it looks like there's quite a bit on colour theory, but I think I was drawn to it because there were some step-by-step things and breaking down, working with light in watercolours. I think when I'd seen it online, I just liked the style of the illustrations, and it's always useful to see how an illustration that you like has been built up. So it's not just for watercolours. I mean, that's an oil there. I've just been drawing boats and houses and mountains. So interesting to see that. Oh, that's collage there. I thought that looked quite interesting anyway. Making Colour Sing by Jeanne Dobie. So the two items next I am really excited about, and these were my complete splurge items. So I've got a box of Sennelier soft pastels. It's the Plein landscape set of 80 half pastels. I was watching a pastel artist on YouTube a little while back. I can't remember his name offhand, but I will link to him in the description box below. But he combined using really soft pastels like the Sennelier, though he had quite a few American brands that aren't as readily available over here. But he also used these Prismacolor, they're the NuPastels. He used those in conjunction with his soft pastels. These are classed as hard or firm colour sticks. And I really like how he combined the two. So it looks like I'm going to be doing a fair bit more soft pastel work in the future. I'd seen the Unison soft pastels on offer at Jackson's Art, and I considered getting some of those. I've got a very small landscape set of them, which I really like. So from looking into those, I ended up falling down a soft pastel YouTube video rabbit hole, and I ended up settling on wanting to try these Senneliers instead of the Unison ones. I think I like the colour range in these, and the price of this set was pretty good. I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I've had a big art and craft clear out not that long ago. So I actually sold a couple of boxes of Paul Rubens oil pastels. Because I like Paul Rubens' higher ones so much, I just wasn't using the other ones as much. And I also passed on my Arctic soft pastels that I had recently. They were pretty nice to use, but the colours were very bright and I knew that I wouldn't be using them that much. And I also got rid of a couple of packs of water-soluble oil pastels and other things. So I've cleared out physical space, and then the money that I made on those I've put into these two. So I'll open them up now and take a look. So there's all the colours on the side. Some pastel, looks like sanded pastel paper. Pastel card. The usual Sennelier leaflet, which is no use whatsoever. I wish they'd give you a colour card for the set that you're buying, or for the range that you're buying from. Again, that's just different products relating to pastels. Oh, that's so nice. What I'm itching to do though is put these in a colour order that makes more sense to me. So I'd rather have all the greens lumped together and the earths lumped together and the blues kind of more together. I'll have a play around with those in a little bit. But when I was looking online, I really did like this colour range. It doesn't have many reds, pinks or oranges in it by comparison to the earths and the blues and greens. And I can see that there's quite a few kind of very earthy greens that I will like using. Nice shadow purples. Yeah, just a lot of darks and a lot of subtle colours in there, rather than like a basic set that covers all of the colours. And then the Prismacolor NuPastels. This is the full range of 96. And there are smaller sets, 12, 36, or 12, 24, 36, 48, 96. But they weren't widely available for me, and I found this big set on Amazon. So I just went for it. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so there's 2 layers in there. It's not bad. There's a couple broken in there, but I was expecting way worse, to be honest, because it was only posted in a paper bag with no padding at all. So I've just got out a pastel matte pad and I'll have a little play around with them now. So I'll try some of these Sennelier soft pastels first. Wow, they are super soft. Look at my hands already from that. I'm going to make a right mess with these. They are incredibly soft and opaque. They're lovely. This is the little unison box of pastels that I've got, so I'll just compare them. I don't have the same colours, and actually sometimes the darker ones are a little bit harder, but I'll try a range again. So a little bit less dust from the unison, it seems like. I'll try and use similar colours from the Sennelier set now. Oop, too dark. Yeah, the Senneliers definitely feel that bit softer than the unison ones to me. Actually, that one's more of a scratchy one. I think there's a little bit of coating on these Sennelier ones as well, though, actually. So this is unison again. And then Sennelier. Yeah, I think on average the Sennelier feel that bit softer. So then I'll try these NuPastel sticks. So it looks like they're individually numbered. And it's not coming off on my hands in the same way. So yeah, the pigment just isn't coming away as easily. I really like the idea of these for adding details in, though the soft pastel artist that I was talking about, I think he uses them for underpainting as well, because it doesn't fill up the tooth of the paper quite so quickly. And look what a fine line you can get with them. So I'm just imagining that that's my underpainting layer. Soft pastel layer. I don't know what I'm doing here, by the way, just messing around. I think what I'm going to do now is rearrange these Sennelier soft pastels. The foam, there's foam at the bottom, which is good because they sit in it. There's these NuPastel ones, the foam, I can show you, just goes around the outsides, but I'm happy enough with the order of those anyway, so that's fine. So I'll have a play around with these and I'll show you in a little bit. This is the order that I've rearranged them into, which just makes a bit more sense in the way that I will use them. So whites, yellows, oranges, reds, and the warmer browns on this side. Grey, black, cooler browns, and then the warmer greens. And the cooler greens, turquoises, and then the duskier and cooler blues, warmer blues, purples, and then the pinks. So like I said before, I'm really pleased with that colour range because I'm planning on mainly doing landscapes with them. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these new products. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye!